Hello, my friends. Welcome to the show. Jack Chow is my name. East West is the show. We're with G&E TV trying to take a serious look into life at all times. That is our attitude. All right. Anyway, we're always warm on life side. We always try to bring sunlight to the day-to-day life, which is, even though boring, has lots of hope. Each year, every year now, ever since the founding father created this system, and it's also later confirmed that during the early part of last century, that Thanksgiving be the official holidays of the United States. It is written in law, black and white, and it is voted in Congress that we should be thankful to what we are, who we are, what we have achieved, and for the system, for everything. So, needless to say, it is Thanksgiving time. It is time, first it is heavily marked with the word giving thanks, right? Giving thanks. So why should we do Thanksgiving? Why should we celebrate Thanksgiving? There is not only historical, but current and even future significance in it, and to our philosophy, to our economy, to our education, to every aspect of the whole world. You will probably say it is such a positive idea to find a moment after all the 365 days, busy days. You get a moment to yourself in a little silence to think about how we shall thank to what we have. So today, joining me in the celebration of Thanksgiving, in commemoration of Thanksgiving, is my good friend Ken Hemmings, and he's a writer, and he's not only a writer but a good one. As a matter of fact, by the way, I'm working on one of his books, and a bunch of colleagues are working on the books to find out how we can benefit the rest of the folks. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, sure. Yes, we all talk about Thanksgiving. From time to time, there's a little piece of history about how Thanksgiving come in the first place. Especially to the young people. Not only them, but even to older people. Well, they are so used to celebrate Thanksgiving, they forgot the part about how Thanksgiving comes in the first place. So, can you please refresh us?
I can. Let me please start by giving thanks for you allowing me to be here with you and to share our thoughts with your viewers.
Sure.
So I'm very deeply appreciative of that. Thanksgiving really started back in 1621 after the first harvest of pilgrims. And what's real interesting is there were 53 pilgrims at the first Thanksgiving, and there were 90 Native Americans, Indians that were here. So that was kind of an interesting thing because they were already sharing some love and appreciation with each other, even though they had conflicts periodically also. So I thought that was beautiful. And then in 1863, President Abraham Lincoln, one of my favorite presidents, and probably everybody's favorite president, but he established Thanksgiving as a national holiday, and he explained it with these words. He said the purpose of Thanksgiving is to give thanksgiving and praise to our beneficent Father who dwelleth in the heavens. And then it was started to become, it was a national holiday, and Franklin Delano Roosevelt in the 30s established it as the fourth Thursday in November. So that's how it's progressed, and I know where your heart lies. It's always where you think of Thanksgiving. Do you think of what you're going to eat first, or do you think of giving thanks first? And just like Christmas, do you think of presents first, or do you think of the purpose of
How
Christmas?
about I think about both?
Yeah, okay, yeah. I'm hungry.
Think about both. Yeah, we're hungry too.
I'm hungry for the, yeah.
The word hungry exactly says it. You know why? Because it so happened, if you go back, you do go back to history though, you found out the year before, which is 1620,
Yes,
when the pilgrims first landed per Mayflower on the shore, which is totally new.
totally.
Right? There's nothing there about food, about future, about how they spend next day. Can they or were they able to see the next dawn?
That's right.
Everything was in question.
Everything.
And there were 53
survival.
of them.
Yeah.
Right? Some died on the way, but
Yes.
the remainder 53 of them off from board landed on that piece of land, which is Plymouth, the little town.
Yes.
Well, totally. About future, about life, they know nothing.
Nothing.
Hungry is the word to describe what they are
Yes.
at that moment, right?
Pioneers.
So pioneers. So without the native Indians who extended their helping hands to them, they would have died in like 3 days,
Yeah.
4 days, whatever, and that would be no part of a history. Will be no United States.
That's
Am I right?
That's right. Yeah, that's why love is
Sure, that's exactly how we started as
Right.
a nation,
right.
right? And that's why how we started by extending helping hands to people who need help
Yes.
as the spirit of the nation.
Yes.
So I said, like I say, how about think about both ways, right?
Yes,
Food and celebration. For food, we try to recall the moment when they were so devastating, there was no food at all.
Right.
Of course everybody was hungry.
Yes. They were hungry.
Of course everybody was, right?
And they were thankful for the bounty that allowed them to survive, and also the friendship showed by the Native Americans that pretty much assured them a chance of survival.
Not only did they give them food, pumpkins, what is it, yam,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
And fish, corn, something like that. But also they taught them to plant.
That's true.
That's why they survive not 1 day, 1 week,
Right.
survive in the long run. That's why the next year they started their own harvest, right? The next fall, right?
And then they reap the benefits.
Yeah, sure. That's how it started. To lots of young people, that's a piece in history. That's a very, very little piece in history. However, it extends to cover the whole spirit of the United States. To give,
That's right.
to be grateful to people, to be thankful to people, to be appreciative to people, right? So that is why we celebrate Thanksgiving, and we make it into law. This is the national holiday.
And it all ties in with having a positive attitude on life.
Exactly.
And it ties right in
Exactly.
with
Exactly.
attitude is really the essence of life and appreciation. In my opinion, Thanksgiving comes on the fourth Thursday in November every year. In my opinion, the thing to do is celebrate every day. You may call it Thanksgiving in November, and I call every other day of my life Appreciation Day, for appreciating the simple things that we all benefit
Yeah,
from.
there was one day I was with a guest doing a show. He told me that every single day to him is a Thanksgiving Day.
He's exactly right.
Yeah, because he wants to
love
thank
him.
people for who he
Yeah.
is, totally.
Yeah.
So that is quite a concept. To my audiences, you can probably tell by watching my show years after years after years, at least you know Jack is a good guy. Jack is a guy with a big heart, maybe bigger than himself. Yeah, I
Very
do
much.
feel that way. I feel proud about my size, especially the size of my heart.
right there. Exactly.
All right, exactly. So I'm not saying that I'm a poet. I try to be romantic. I try to be lavish rhetorically. All right. I just want to tell the truth. Without knowing how to thank you, without knowing how to express your thanks, you are just a half done. You're not a totally completed a human being, right? To do that, I believe that appreciation is the key. Not only the key, it's the golden key to unlock anything.
Jack, let me just say, as I view you, I see you as a spirit and a soul with a body attached to allow your spirit and soul to benefit our
Thank you
our
very
world.
much for saying that. That's exactly a vivid description about who I am. I know I'm not great. I know I have lots of problems. I have lots of shortcomings. But down to the very point, though, if you give a check about the heart, the size of the heart, if you check about the appreciation, a check about how I weigh my own weight,
Yes.
you will find that well, at least he knows something. He knows some time to how to express himself, to thank people.
And during life,
Mm-hmm.
both one thing we have in common is we do not put ourselves first in ahead of other pleasures in life, other
Mm-hmm. Sure,
people that we
sure.
try to take care of.
Exactly.
And when you give, so much more comes back to you. So much.
Yeah, sure, of course. I do understand that one show would not change anything, with just one of the few, one of the very, 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 very few that talking about it. But you know, you just do it once. At least you do something in the year. At least you can recall, say, hey, a whole 2013 we did one show at least talking about appreciation, right? At least you do something. A lot of people do that. If the 300 million Americans do that, I mean, with no exception, then you're talking about a country full
An
of
impact.
Oh yeah, impact is big,
Impact.
right?
It's very big.
All right, sure. Let's take a very short moment out. When we come back, we'll find out what do we do. Well, we can check with different situations, or
Right.
at least you and me. What do we do on Thanksgiving Day? So stay with us. We'll be right back.